Hey guys, welcome in. So today I wanted to talk about what we can expect from this USC team going forward, and more specifically, is USC a legitimate playoff contender? Now, if you listen to a lot of the national people who cover college football, the tone around USC is completely changing. People like Joel Klatt, RG3, Kirk Herbstreit, Aaron Murray, they have all called USC more or less the favorite in the Pac-12 and a legitimate playoff contender. In the offseason, most USC fans I saw talk about this sort of thing were very reserved in their expectations for this team. Myself included, I was very cautiously optimistic going into this season. If you look back at my USC record prediction video, I predicted them to go 10-2, and after I uploaded it, I remember I was thinking maybe I got too excited and I should probably bump the record down to 9-3. But a lot of things with this team have surprised me, definitely in a good way. So let's dive into it. First, by making the case that USC is a legitimate playoff contender. The first reason why, and it's the most obvious one, is the coach, Lincoln Riley. He knows exactly what it takes to get to the playoff, and he's done it with this exact model before. One of the best offenses in the entire country, and a defense that's just good enough to get you there. Another reason why I think they could be a playoff threat is I did not expect the offense to be this gelled and this good this early in the season. If you didn't know that this offense had only been together for a few months, you would think they've been together for years. At the moment, this offense can do no wrong. Everything's clicking, there's explosive plays, they're very efficient, the offensive line is dominant, Caleb Williams is playing at an elite level, the wide receivers are outstanding. This running back room has a lot of experience in it and is one of the better rooms in the entire conference. The tight ends are very solid. Just looking at the offense as a whole, there's no weakness here. I don't think there's an offense that's better than USC's in the entire country. USC is currently number 1 in the country in offensive efficiency according to ESPN's efficiency charts. Caleb Williams is currently completing just under 80% of his throws at 79.6%. He has 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's running the ball very well as well. If he plays even close to the level he's playing out now for the remainder of the season, it's going to be hard for me to see USC dropping a game on the schedule. And moving to the defense, I know that the narrative around this USC defense is that it's garbage and there's no way they can win a conference with the defense as it currently stands. But if you take a look at the numbers, I don't think it tells that same story that everyone's trying to push. This defense already has 9 takeaways, which is first in the Pac-12 by a wide margin. This defense has 9 sacks already, which is first in the conference. USC has the 5th best red zone defense in the conference so far. USC is also first in the conference in tackles for loss by a very, very wide margin. USC has missed 10 total tackles through 2 games. Keep in mind that Utah missed 27 alone while playing at Florida. Now, does this USC defense give up a lot of yards and first downs? Yes, absolutely. But they do a great job of keeping everything in front of them and forcing big plays like sacks and takeaways. Now let's talk about the remainder of USC's schedule. In the offseason, when you'd look at USC's schedule, you would circle that Utah game and that Notre Dame game and chalk them up as pretty much sure losses. Looking at them now, starting with Notre Dame is a trash can that is on fire, that just lost to Marshall and will hopefully lose to Cal this week because, well, that would be hilarious. Just a little side note, this is Notre Dame's quarterback for the rest of the year. No comment needed, just take a look at that and laugh, Trojan fans. I can't wait for that game. And then looking at Utah, that's still going to be an incredibly tough game. They're still a really good team, but the matchup looks a lot more favorable now than it did a month ago. You saw them struggle with the speed of Florida's offense and specifically their quarterback, Anthony Richardson. Caleb Williams is a really good athlete too, and we'll have to see what that Utah defense does to try to slow him down. The main point of this being, there's probably not a game left on USC's schedule that they won't be favored in. That easy schedule obviously goes a long way to USC getting to the playoff. Now, a few reasons to be pessimistic about USC's playoff chances. Number 1 is obviously offensive health. Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison have to remain healthy for this offense to be clicking as well as it is currently. And the USC offensive line, as fantastic as it is with the starting 5, the depth is not as good. Outside of left tackle, where you have Cortland Ford and Bobby Haskins, the line will start to look real shaky if you lose a Brett Nealon or Andrew Voorhees. And then defensively, you worry about if the turnover rate declines, which is inevitable. I doubt the USC defense is going to average 4.5 turnovers a game for the rest of the season. But if it falls off entirely, then that's where I would start to worry. That's a few less possessions per game you're handing over to Caleb Williams on the offense, which in turn is probably going to lead to less points for the offense. But overall, I'm way higher on this USC team now than I was a month ago. Seeing them go up to Stanford and absolutely blast them really helped validate a lot of what Lincoln Riley is preaching to me. Now, while I do think USC is 100% a legitimate playoff contender, I do not think they are at all a national title contender this year. USC is going to have a target on their back now. Every game is going to be a potential trap game, so they'll have to bring it every single week. This Saturday night against Fresno is going to be a really big test for this Trojan defense. My preview for that game is going to go up Friday at 7 Eastern. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you think USC is a legitimate playoff contender or not, let me know down in the comments. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Fight on.